Welcome to She's in the Weeds.
I'm Sam.
And I'm Hollis.
We're best friends exploring the intersection of pop culture and the female experience.
Be sure to follow us on socials and subscribe to the podcast so you never miss an episode.
And if you love us, give us that 5-star review.
Nailed it?
I think it's fine.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Hello.
Hello.
We're back.
We know you've missed us.
Oh, how could you have not?
I mean,
It's been a long, lonely break, I'm sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've missed you.
I know. We have not seen each other for like 2 weeks.
I
A little over
know.
2 weeks. A little over 2 weeks, I feel
Yeah,
like.
since Newfields,
Yeah,
right?
that was the 19th.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was fun. We went to Newfields.
Yes,
Up in
we did.
Indy for the winter lights. Was fun. It was exactly the same as last year, which
Not one change.
which is fine. Not that I expected it to be really different, but it may not be an every year thing.
Right. I mean, there's going to
'Cause-
have to be some updates if we're going to go
Yeah.
every year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was still a really good time.
Yeah. And it's definitely fun for the kids. They have like a little stop off where you can make s'mores and like get hot chocolate and stuff.
Yeah.
So,
It wasn't nearly as crowded this year as last year either.
no. And quite frankly, I didn't feel like it was that bad last year either. So I think they do a pretty good job of not overselling the slots.
Yeah, which is nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, because it's like, you buy a ticket for a specific time slot. So, yeah, and it wasn't as cold. It was really, really cold last year, and it
Yeah.
wasn't too bad this year. So,
Yeah. I feel like I celebrated Christmas more
oh
this
yeah,
year, like leading up to than I have in the past. So
yeah.
it was
Didn't
fun.
Adam make a comment about? I've never done so many
Yeah, it's
Christmas
like this
things.
is the most Christmas recreation I've done ever.
I know. Well, and this will be the last year that we go to Florida in December, like before Christmas, because previous to my child being in school, we went like the first or second week of December. And now that she's in school, I took her out this year because whatever is what it is. We already had it planned, and my grandparents are, they're getting up there and not in the best health. So it's like I wanted to make sure that we got down there this year. But it definitely now, especially that my oldest kid is school age, I definitely felt the pressure of like being gone for a week in December. I think I told you I literally made like 17 plans for the week that I was in Florida and then had to cancel them all and was like, what am I
Yeah.
doing? I'm not
Gotta
going to be
in
here.
Florida. Yeah.
I mean, I bought tickets to something and then had to cancel it. So, yeah, it'll be nice to, it's a bummer having to travel when everybody else travels. That's been the biggest bummer of my kids starting school. That's really starting to sink in. But it definitely felt stressful being away and basically not being able to do anything Christmas related or like December related for those 2 weekends.
Yeah.
Even though we were gone Monday to Saturday, I felt like I couldn't really do anything the weekend before. And then of course we were, traveling the next weekend. So
Yeah, because that's prime busy time.
yeah. And luckily the thing that my daughter was going to miss at school, they were making like gingerbread houses. So she was bummed to like miss that. But then they ended up not having school that day because it snowed. So it got rescheduled. So she was able to do it the week that we got
Oh,
back.
that's good.
Which was good. But, they have little fun stuff at school. So,
Yeah.
she doesn't want to miss out on that. And so, but yeah, it was definitely a very busy December, but it was nice. We did a lot of festive things and we went to the, Carmel has a great German Christmas market, and so we went to that with some friends that live up there, and that was nice. And it was like 56 degrees, which
Yeah, it was seasonably warm.
yeah,
for a
which is
while.
always kind of like when I see it, I'm like, it's gonna be 60 degrees on Christmas. Like, can't it just be cold and like snow ever?
Right.
But I will say I was grateful for the weather when we went to the market. It was nice.
I know. I felt the same way. I was like, yeah, you want a white Christmas, but then you get there and it's like, all right, this is actually pretty nice.
Yeah.
I don't mind having to like dig my car out to go drive to a Christmas. So.
Yeah. I mean, now that we stay home Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, I keep keeping my fingers crossed because I'm like, I don't care if it snows because we're not
Right.
going anywhere. I know a lot of people travel and that can be kind of a bummer, but my main thing that I like to have on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day is the fireplace, though. And
Yeah.
it was too
Too
warm
hot,
to
yeah.
have a fire.
We're all just inside sweating.
Yeah,
around
it was
the fire.
roasting in here. So that was kind of a bummer. I do like to at least be
Yeah.
cold enough to do the fireplace, but
Well, like, not to be a sunset truther, but like, it does also make you a little concerned when you're like, it shouldn't be this warm.
no, it
You know,
shouldn't.
like the
Not
world-
where we are.
The world is burning up. That's
Yeah.
kinda sad. Not to be a total downer. And the next day being freaking 20 degrees.
Yeah, exactly.
like,
it was
okay.
literally 70. The next day it was 17.
Yeah.
It was insane. But the other thing I remember reading or seeing somewhere about climate change is that it's also supposed to make places where you do have seasons, it's
More
supposed to make them
extreme.
more extreme.
Yeah.
So I'm like, can I get some snow
Yeah,
here? Like,
right.
why are we getting snowstorms now in November?
Yeah.
Got all of our snow in November and nothing on
know.
Christmas Day. So anyway,
I know. I'm curious to see what January and February are going to be like.
I know, me too.
Because I feel like we had a lot of snow last year.
yeah, and we
All
had
through
yeah, we had.
months.
I feel like about a decade period of time that felt like almost 10 years where we had one really big snowstorm about like 12 or 15 years ago when I was working at Yogi's. I think you were living in New Orleans. It was shortly after you moved, and we closed the restaurant for like 3 days, and it was on Christmas. I was at home at my parents' house, completely snowed in, couldn't
Oh, wow.
get out. And then it seemed like after that we really did have a long period of time where it just didn't snow at all in the winter,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And now the last like 3 or 4 years, it has snowed every winter. So
Yeah.
we'll see. But speaking of my vacation, though, I have to tell the story. I like almost got scammed.
On vacation?
Yeah. And it's not, I mean, I say I almost got scammed. The second the actual scam would have started, I would have known. And I still was like doing things to make sure that it was real and determined that it wasn't. And I feel like maybe I'd kind of heard of this scam before, but it's that thing like where they like just catch you off guard. And there was a couple of things that happened that were just coincidental that made it seem real. So we're in Florida, and my grandpa can't see very well. He has a degenerative eye disease. So we're trying to set up like a Google speaker for him so he could call people using his voice commands because he can't see his phone. But for whatever reason, when he calls from it, it says like unavailable or like private number. Like it won't come up his number.
Oh.
So like you're just going to have to like, it could be him, just answer
Yeah.
it.
Oh,
So-
that sucks because
Yeah.
I just like don't answer calls.
I
don't
know, me
Yeah.
neither. So we were at his house, did that. I can't remember if this was later that day or like the next day. We're all at the Airbnb and my phone rings and it says private number. And I'm like, oh, it's grandpa. Like he's, you know. So I pick up the phone and they're like, is this Samantha Branson? And I'm like, oh, yes. And I'm like, oh, it's not my grandpa. And they're like, this is the Monroe County Sheriff's Department. And I'm like, and obviously Monroe County, Indiana is where we live, where I
Yeah.
live. And of course I'm in Florida. And I'm like, oh, okay. And he's calling to tell me that I've missed a court date. And I'm like, what? And he's giving me like the case numbers and he's like, yeah, he's like, you were supposed to be here for jury duty. And I'm like,
Oh, damn.
and I'm like, what? I'm like, and he goes, you didn't receive your packet? He goes, I can put that in here that you didn't receive the packet. He goes, but we did receive back a signed packet. He's like, would anybody would have signed for you in your household? And I'm like, no. And he's like, okay, we have had some cases in Monroe County of fraudulent signatures. So I'm going to need you to come down to the station and do a handwriting analysis.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, what? And I'm like, this is so insane. And he's like, I'm going to go ahead and need you to come down here today. And I'm like, I'm in Florida with my family. And he's like, okay. And he's like, well, he goes like, we can transfer it over to the sheriff's department there. What city are you in? And I'm like, I have to do this now?
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah. So So my husband comes in, he's like, what's going on? I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, they're saying I'm mistreated. He's like, it's a scam. I'm like, but they're not asking me for anything. I'm like, he didn't ask me. I'm like, he's not asking me for any information. He's not saying like, oh, you got to pay this. He's saying I need to come to the sheriff's department. I'm like, what is the scam?
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't know. He's like, just hang up. And the guy could hear, and he's like, ma'am, don't hang up. We can validate the call. I'm not going to ask you for any information. Unfortunately, this is real. He's like, we've had a few cases of these being signed fraudulently. He's like, I understand this is distressing.
That's so crazy.
Yeah. And so I'm like, what the heck is going on? So I was like, can somebody call Monroe County Sheriff's Department? And so my mom calls Monroe County Sheriff's Department, and they're like, I don't see anything. And she's like, can you give me the case numbers? And she's like, this is more of like an incident number. She's like, no, I don't think it's real. And so eventually I just end up hanging up on them. But he wanted me to stay on the phone and literally drive. He's telling me it's the closest sheriff's department to where we were. It was like Brewer County. I can't remember exactly what county. And I'm like, you want me to go there right now? And he's like, yeah, you need to stay on the phone with me. And then when you get there, we'll work everything out, with the whatever. And you need to do the handwriting analysis test. And I'm like, this is so insane. I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. So once we finally determine, okay, this isn't real, I just hung up. And of course, they're calling me back. And I don't answer. And my mom's friend, who I consider basically an aunt, is also there with us, and her husband has worked for the FBI. And so he's like calling the FBI's office, and he's like, this isn't real. And
wow.
And anyway, it was just so crazy. But so then we're like looking up these jury duty scams.
Yeah.
And apparently there is one, because at first we're not really like, I'm like, what is the scam?
Right. What are they trying to get?
I'm like, are they trying to hack into my phone? Because like, why am I staying on the phone? I guess. So we finally find one. Somebody finds one somewhere on like a subreddit thread where it was a very similar situation. The person got in the car, started driving to the sheriff's department, and the person on the phone was like, oh, ma'am, we've got it figured out. We've got it taken care of. You don't need to go down. Go ahead and go home. And why don't you give us information? We're going to reimburse you for your mileage. And that's the scam.
That's so weak.
Isn't that bizarre?
Yeah.
And then somehow they get you by,
you give them a way for them to reimburse you, and then they have your information.
Yes.
It's so crazy the long game these scams are now.
Well, and that's what I was telling when my husband was like, hang up. And I was like, okay, I hear you, but they're not asking me. If he would have said.
But that's how they get you, because they're like.
I know.
Now you're like, well, they're not asking me for anything, so now I can trust them, because if they were trying to scam me, they would immediately be trying to get there.
And I mean, as soon as if they would have said that about I would have been like, absolutely not.
Yeah.
As soon as they would have said anything about, oh, if you just pay this fee, we can, what I mean?
Give me your social security number and your bank accounts.
Yeah.
And we'll have this all squared away for you.
I know. And because I was like, what? Before we found them, like, what is the end game here? What are they going to do when I just show up to the sheriff's department there and go, I'm here, and they're like, what are you talking about? And I would have just hung. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's like, what is the end game with this scam? This is so bizarre.
Yeah. I know. And it just makes you think, like, who are these people that are just scam artists? Because there has to be so many of them. Because I feel like people are just bombarded with these scams all the time. And it's just crazy how many people in the world are just like, I'm just going to scam people.
I know. And I mean, I feel like I've heard of the jury duty scam of them saying that, but then they pretty quickly will be like, either you come down here or you can pay this fee, and we can, if you can pay this fee by credit card or whatever it is. But they weren't doing that. So I was like, okay, is it possible that this is real? And I think the thing, because there was a point of confusion where I said, well, I can't come down today. I'm on vacation in Florida with my family. And he kind of seemed a little confused. And then we figured out they were saying Monroe County, Florida. It's like they knew I was in Florida. I don't know if like they can track your location somehow, but that may have made me more vulnerable, was like being in Florida. And we looked it up, and yes, there's a Monroe County, Florida, relatively close to where we were.
Oh, really?
And that's why there was like this little point of confusion because there
was
was
like, well,
when I
yeah.
said I can't, and he was like, okay.
He's like, right? I know that about you already.
I know. And I was like, and that's when he was like, okay, well, what city,
Yeah.
Because and then when he said we can transfer it, I'm like, from Indiana? Like,
right.
what?
That
So
doesn't make sense.
that was another thing too. Like, if I hadn't picked up the phone and he said this is the Monroe County Sheriff's Department, if he'd have said any other county, I probably would have hung up.
Right.
But the fact that like I'm from Monroe County and we do have like rental homes and things here, I'm like, well, something could be going on. You know, what if our house is on fire? Or like, you know what I mean? So I stayed on the phone.
Yeah. I know. And they're so, I mean, that's how they get you.
Yeah.
Because there are some really scary ones about like people calling and saying they have your
child
or they have like voice voice recordings of them, and like, oh God, the things they say to people.
We have
are
a
just
family
insane.
safe word.
Oh, really?
We came up with it on our last vacation to Florida. We were talking about it, but I'm like, yeah, we need a family safe word. So like if anyone ever calls and like it's me on the phone telling you that they have me and they need you to send money, you need to say, what's the safe word?
Yeah.
Or what's the code word?
Yeah.
And if they don't say it, it ain't me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a really good idea.
Yeah. And you can't, then I was like, we need to do it here while we're all together.
Yeah.
Because you can't write it down, can't put it in your phone.
Right.
Like.
And you best not forget it.
I know. And so then this year I go, who remembers the safe word? And everyone was like, and then I said it and they were like, oh yeah. And I was like, I think it's
guys,
okay.
Key to the safe word is you have to remember the safe word.
You have to remember it. But also it's like, if the person said it, you would know it. But the person that's saying it needs to remember it too. So, but
that's funny. That's like, have you watched One Battle After Another?
Oh my gosh. So yeah, I haven't finished it because it's like 72 hours long.
Yeah, it is long.
Kurt and I watched 2/3 of it.
Yeah, I really liked it. I thought it was good.
Yeah,
but they have a whole safe word
I can't remember.
scene there where like,
is it in the beginning?
Leo's on the phone and like
yes,
trying to go to
he's like yeah,
where's the rendezvous
I don't
spot?
remember the
Yeah.
what time is it?
Yes.
He's like, I don't remember. Yeah. I know.
That was a good one. That was a good movie.
Yeah. It was definitely good. It's one of those ones where we ended up having to turn it off because we watched it on Christmas Day. We ended up having to turn it off because it was like 3 hours long and then kids were done napping or whatever. We had to go do something, but haven't gone back to it. It was good, but it's also like, I don't know if I care enough to watch the last hour.
Oh, really? Man, see, I was like in it it was one of those movies too where I was like, that didn't feel like it was 3 hours long.
Yeah.
You know?
It was definitely good. I should watch the last 45 minutes, but
yeah.
I also watched Begonia.
Nice.
Thoughts
on the ending?
I liked it. I mean, I knew right away that she was an alien.
Did you?
Yeah. I mean, I was like, okay, so she's actually an alien.
Yeah.
There was a split second towards the end where I was like, is she not?
Yeah.
Like when they're doing the teleporting closet thing, I'm like, is she not?
Has
and
she
I'm
been
like,
playing him the whole time?
I'm like, no, I think she is. I could just tell, like, the way I was like, that's going to be what it is. Like, it's just going to be like, she is an alien. And it was good. As far as like plot holes, I mean, I personally didn't feel like the plot was really that developed to begin with.
The story wasn't super strong.
Right. So I felt like it was more the acting and the characters.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, I mean, I thought it was well done.
Yeah.
I liked it.
The acting. Jesse Plemons is
oh my gosh.
He's the new Paul Dano.
He was so good.
Yeah. Yeah, he
crushed
go down
it.
in history
and
as,
like
one of the greatest.
Not my type at all, but strangely sexy.
I know.
In a very like grungy, gross way.
I know, and now I see him in interviews and I'm like, okay, Jesse Plemons.
Jesse Plemons.
Yeah.
So yeah, I thought I liked it.
Yeah.
It was good.
I'm going to see Marty Supreme on Sunday.
I haven't heard about that one.
It's the new Timothée Chalamet.
Oh, okay.
Where he's the ping pong player. It's supposed to be really good.
I mean, I do love like a little sports
Oh yeah, I love a sports movie.
Yeah.
I'm not like a sports. I won't watch a sports game,
Right.
but I will definitely get into a sports
I
movie.
know.
Yeah.
I mean, I like
sports,
both, but yeah.
but there's something about sports movies that are just so like
They're so good.
heart wrenching and dramatic. That,
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
It's supposed to be his greatest work. He said he's very. Is
he a method actor?
I don't know if he considers himself method, but he is determined
Intense.
to be the greatest
I've seen
of all
that.
time.
Yeah.
He's like, and this is the best work I've ever put out. He's
okay.
claimed, so
Well,
yeah.
I mean,
I'll be the judge of that, Timothy. He is good though.
Ping pong is pretty intense.
Yes.
So,
I mean, I'm a fan of Chalamet. I think he's a great
Yeah.
actor.
I'm trying to think. He was in the Army Hammer movie, which was good.
Oh, Call Me by Your Name.
Yeah.
Love Call Me by Your Name. Yeah, he was great in that.
I really feel like Army Hammer was more the star of that. Timothy Chalamet was good. I wasn't like blown away by his performance. The movie as a whole was very, very good.
Yeah.
And then the only other thing I've seen him in is the cannibalism movie that was definitely good.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
Bones and all.
Yeah, I wanted to see it.
Yeah. It was good. It was definitely like an interesting take on the genre, which, is not for everyone.
Yeah.
I thought it was good.
I saw the Bob Dylan movie. He was
did
great in that.
I didn't see that.
He
So
really was a convincing Dylan.
yeah. And I still haven't yet to see Dune, so
Oh yeah, I always forget he's in Dune.
yeah. I don't know if he's like a big part, but
Yeah, I think he had a smaller part in the first one, but is going to have a continually larger role because
As it
he's
goes
like,
on.
he's taking over the throne or whatever.
yeah.
I like the Dune movies too. I thought they
Yeah.
were good, and I'm not really a sci-fi person.
Yeah. Speaking of sci-fi, the Stranger Things finale.
Did you watch it?
Of course. I was
All to
sad.
the end, yeah.
Oh yeah. So the first 3 episodes came out on the night before Thanksgiving, which we talked about those already, and I thought they were great. The second installment came out on Christmas Day, which was 3 more episodes. And I guess it got like the lowest reviews so far of like any release of Stranger Things, and people were kind of critical of like mostly just the fact that like, and this is spoilers, sorry if you haven't seen it, none of the main cast like dies. And
Oh yeah.
and I think there were just some I guess there were a few like story continuity issues that people had, which I didn't really. People are so like clocked in.
Yeah.
And there's like, oh, this is a discrepancy.
Yeah.
I mean,
Discrepancy.
I'm like, okay, whatever. And then just kind of the way that, so just one example is the monsters, the Demogorgon monsters, like they cannot be physically overcome. Like you can't go into like combat with one of them and win as a person. Like they have to be outsmarted and then killed. Like they're just they just tear people apart.
Yeah.
And so there was one scene where like one of the main characters, I think he's carrying one of the girls or something, and he's like running and he just kind of like kicks the monster and it like goes back and they get away, and it's like that
Just kicks it.
yeah,
All right.
and it's like, no, like we
did
determined
it.
that like you can't. So some things like that where it's just
Yeah.
like, I personally don't care about that. I thought the second installment had a couple of conversations between characters that was like really closing a chapter on certain issues, and things really came to fruition with the interpersonal relationships. I thought it was fantastic. And then the final series finale came out on New Year's Eve, and it was 1 2-hour long episode, and it wrapped everything up in a nice little package, which is always good. I did feel like the way it actually ended was kind of anticlimactic, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
Overall, it's top 3 series for me.
Nice.
I mean, it's Mad Men, Downton Abbey, Stranger Things.
Yeah.
I mean, those are the 3 best television shows of all time, in my opinion. It's fabulous. If you haven't watched it. I just spoiled it for you, so too bad. But yeah, it's great.
I think I'm gonna start watching it.
Sorry, I kind of spoiled.
That's okay. I won't remember.
And like
it won't mean anything to me at the beginning either.
No,
probably,
and it's not the fact that some people die along the way.
Sure.
The main cast. Okay, yeah, they live to the end. Like, and sometimes that's okay.
Yeah, honestly, like I've said, I like a happy ending.
Yeah.
Everyone survives. I'm on board for that.
Yeah, you don't
want to
have
see the
to
people
kill off a main character for it to be good.
Yeah, I become very attached to characters.
I know, right?
I want my people to live.
I know.
So.
Even if it means that they just like do a little kick and
yeah. Like, all right, great. Everybody's happy.
Yeah. So, yeah, I do think the very last episode finale could have been a little bit better in how they kind of like defeated the, but that's okay. It is what it is. And I'm sure that those things are very difficult to write and like you're never going to please everybody. So, but all in all, it's a 9.5 out of 10 for me. It's fantastic.
That's great. Yeah.
So I'm sad it's over. It will definitely be an every couple of years rewatch for me.
Oh, yeah? Nice.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Fantastic.
Good. Well, I need something to do today while I'm lazy after our...
Hell yeah, start it. It's great.
I know. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is my last lazy day.
Yeah.
Before I'm like starting with...
Kicking it into gear.
Kicking it into New Year gear.
That's right.
Yeah.
And we're going to get into that very shortly. I do have one quick circle back before we get into our... So for our weeds topic, we're going to... We re-released our New Year's episode from last year this past Wednesday. And so we thought it would be fun to just like kind of see how we did in 2025 in terms of what we said we were going to do for resolutions and then talk about our resolutions for this year. Before we get into that, I do want to circle back very quickly. I know everybody needs us to talk more about the Amy Schumer thing. I only have one quick thing to say about that. When we were talking about it, the conversation sort of evolved into like commenting on women's bodies and like whether or not it's ever okay to do that and talking about sort of commenting on them individually, but then what that can kind of mean for the bigger picture. And I just want to reiterate that even though the conversation went in that direction, and that's fine, we weren't actually talking about her body. We were talking about her deleting her social media. And now that was connected to the fact that the way her body looks had changed. However, had she not done that, I just want to make it clear that we wouldn't have been on here just talking about the fact that her body changed. Yeah. It was the implication of deleting the social media and like what that means for the bigger picture. That's what we were commenting on. Yeah. So I just wanted to make that clear. And then I was scrolling TikTok and I saw this great clip of Kate Winslet because we talked a lot about like what is the responsibility of celebrities and like why does it matter? And we talked about, just leave women alone, never talk about anything, and like what are the implications of that? And so I saw this clip of Kate Winslet and I just thought it was so perfectly put. And so I'm just going to read what she said. And it was a clip of her in an interview, and I'm not sure where the interview took place or who was interviewing her because it was just a clip. But in the clip, she says, "Looking like a normal person, having a face that moves, having all the wrinkles on my face that my 50 years hopefully show, that matters a great deal because I want to lead by example. I want for young women to look at my body, my face, and go, oh, that's a normal one. There might not be that many of us being the normal ones, but it's important and it matters. And I know that the women in my industry who I admire most of all, they're completely normal, gorgeous, beautiful women at the age of 70, 75, 80. And it's reassuring that we have those people to look up to. We all want someone to look up to. And I think if we can be decent women in today's world and be kind to ourselves and to others, I think it's important."
Yeah, I mean, amen.
Right.
I mean, that's kind of... I totally agree with her.
I do too. And, you know, we talk a lot about this, and I'm not saying that every person who's going to be influential has to take that stance. Yeah. But I just think what she said it perfectly. It is important and it does matter.
Yeah. We need to have just as many of those examples as examples of people who say, hey, I'm going to make myself happier by augmenting the way I look. That's fine. We need to have other examples out there too, that like there is not just one way you have to subscribe to be and
Right.
look like, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I think she just did such a great job of communicating that, and also communicating, you know, this idea that we talked about, that it is important for young girls and people looking up to these people to have those examples. And like, unfortunately, I know it's not necessarily fair, but what people like that do does matter more than what people like you and I do.
Yeah.
You know, when she says, I want to lead by example, those are the people that are leading.
Yeah.
So anyway, I mean, we don't have to get too into it because we've talked about it all, but I just thought it was just such a great example, I think, of what we were trying to convey.
Yeah.
That like, we need this,
Yeah.
you know, and it does matter and it is important. And,
Yeah.
you know, so anyway,
Yeah,
I thought
no,
that was
it-
great.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to go on too long about it either, but I don't think I really articulated myself very well. But yeah, I think we just need more examples to balance out the other people that are, you know, getting plastic surgery and augmenting their faces. That there's not only one face to aspire to.
Right.
And like there has to be a balance of it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And a level of transparency,
Yeah.
which, you know, we've talked about that too. And that's a tough one too, because it's like, who's to say, like, why do people have to say what they're having done? But I do feel like it is important to have a level of transparency, because we need to know what's real and what's not.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
So I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah. And that's just like, it's just okay to look the way you look.
Exactly.
You know?
Right.
Like, shouldn't be ashamed. Just look the way you look.
No, you shouldn't.
It's too exhausting to like
It's very,
constantly be
it's very exhausting.
trying to be something you're not, you know?
Yeah, you know.
But so thanks, Kate Winslet.
Yes, thank you, Kate. That's fabulous. Okay, so
Because it also, one more thing.
Yeah.
She managed to say that in a very positive
always
way.
one more thing. Yeah.
She also managed to say that in a very positive way that wasn't, you know, bashing or condemning anybody who chooses to have plastic surgery,
Right.
which is also important. But
Right.
it's also just like, I'm going to choose to be this person.
Right.
And I think the world needs on
Yeah.
some level. And
Exactly.
everyone can make that choice for themselves. But
Right.
like, yeah.
Right. Yeah, and just that implication of being the person who's leading, whether you want to be or not.
Yeah.
You know, and that's where I think the level of transparency is important when you're maybe not leading by example, which is okay.
Yeah.
It's fine. But as long as we're not creating an illusion,
Yeah.
that's where I have an issue.
Yeah.
It's like we can't be creating an illusion as if this is real and attainable and, you know, so anyway. Okay. Shall we move on?
Sure.
Okay, so let's talk about what resolutions we had set for last year and how we did on those. And I do think we talked about it a little bit in some like subsequent episodes last year, but one of yours was that you wanted to not drink for 3 months. I know we did it for 1 month,
Yeah.
and that was great. And then I really do feel like we drank a lot less in 2025 than we had any
definitely.
other year, even throughout the rest of the year.
Definitely.
We definitely made it a goal to be intentional about it
Yeah. Yeah. And I think
and
we
mindful
did that.
of it.
Yeah. And we did that. And I think it definitely paid off. I mean,
Yeah.
I want to keep heading in that direction.
Me too.
You know, because it just, I think that's one of my focuses for this year.
Mm-hmm.
Not to jump forward, but it's just to like focus on my health and feeling as good as I can.
Right.
Which, you know, anymore, God, it's just,
I know.
the hangovers are too much and it just like, it takes the fun out of it.
It does. And like, there was a period of time where I was still enjoying the drinking part. And then
Yeah.
it was just like the hangover was like, ugh. And it was almost like there was always a hangover, even if it was just like a drink or two. I've gotten to the point now where I almost like don't even enjoy the drinking.
Yeah. I mean, I still do when there's something fun to do.
Yeah.
Like if, you know, but yeah, I certainly don't enjoy being drunk like
Yeah.
I used to.
Yeah.
My limit now is low.
Yeah.
You know, I only really like to have
Too.
a few
Yeah.
drinks, and then I'm like, that's all I got.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And unfortunately, too, like, even if there's not like a hangover the next day, like, even if I don't feel bad, I'm still just like not motivated.
Yeah.
I'm tired. Yeah. So,
Yeah, like this weekend, I drank for the game, the IU game yesterday. Not a lot.
which go Hoosiers.
Woo,
We won the
Hoosiers,
Rose
they did,
Bowl.
I know,
Just
so
crazy.
exciting. So, you know, I had a couple beers, but then the night before was New Year's. We went out to dinner. I had a couple glasses of wine and a cocktail. And like just the slight drinking those 2 days compounded, I'm like so tired today.
Yeah.
And nothing's going to get accomplished
No.
outside of this podcast
Yeah.
recording, you
Yeah.
know?
No,
So
I
I'm like,
know.
all right, this is my last lazy day. And then, yeah, because it makes me think like, I wonder how much more, I don't like the word successful because I feel like that's coded with, you know,
Yeah.
monetary or professional success.
Yeah.
Like, I wonder how much more accomplished I would feel if like, you know, every couple weekends I didn't have to like reset
Right.
because I spent like a day just feeling like shit.
Right.
You know, if all those days are spent doing things that like truly made me feel happy, doing things that really made me feel good, I probably would have so many other things I want to get accomplished marked off my list. So,
Right.
yeah. But it's honestly, it's just naturally happening that way.
I know.
It doesn't really
Same.
take, you know, I don't have to be like, I mean, we are doing dry January.
Yeah.
But I feel like anymore, it's just kind of
It's organically just gone
happening
that way.
like it's just not what it used to be.
No, I know. It's the same.
And I mean, I don't know. I don't want to make it sound like I never drink because I still do. Like
Yeah.
to go out and have cocktails and like, you know, the guy I'm seeing, we like to go out and have a drink or two.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, it's just not what it once was.
Yeah, I know. And that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. You had journaling.
Yeah. Well, that one I did for a little bit.
Yeah.
I started journaling. I just don't find it
It's not for you.
as satisfying as like I want to be that person because when people who are really into journaling, the way they talk about it, it sounds
It's
incredible.
like transformative.
Yeah. and I'm sure it's one of those things that like you really have to
Commit
do
to
it for
it,
a while
yeah.
for it to like to really get in the groove and figure out like what you want to journal about, like, you know.
Yeah.
So I did it here and there every once in a while, but no, that one didn't stick. And I think I just have to accept that like maybe
You're not a
journaling
journaler.
isn't my thing. Yeah.
Yeah. That's fine.
Yeah.
It's not for everybody. Okay. And then you had volunteering.
Yes, that went well.
That went well.
Still volunteering. I'm on the board of a nonprofit in town called My Sister's Closet. I think I can say that on here.
Yeah.
It's a really great organization. And yeah, I do graphic design work for them mostly.
Yeah.
But I also have other board responsibilities like fundraising, which I'm so bad at. But
That's the hardest part.
yeah.
Yeah.
But they provide clothing.
So if anyone wants to
toiletries.
donate, please.
Yeah, reach out. We're having a gala in February on Valentine's Day. Should be really fun.
Yeah. I went to the gala last year. It was
Yeah.
a good time.
Yeah, this one I think will be even better.
What's the theme?
It's like Valentine's chocolate theme. I don't know if they
okay.
actually settled on like a name.
What is my outfit going to be for that?
I mean, you could just do any kind of like.
Yeah. Is it black
Nice.
tie or anything?
No, it's
No.
not that formal.
Okay.
But like people will dress up, but there's
Yeah.
not like a strict dress code.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, but it'll
Not
be
me
like,
wanting
you
it to
know,
be black
obviously
tie.
romantic. They're gonna have like a lot of like a chocolate tasting bar.
Nice.
So they're leading into like the chocolate Valentine theme. So yeah, so that should be fun. It's a really big time for them because we're doing a huge campaign, a huge capital campaign because they had to move locations and they just found a location and they have to do a lot of renovations. And it's actually the first time they're asking for money because the way their business model is set up, they have the boutique where all the clothing and materials are donated. And then it's open to the public. So that pretty much funds all their needs. Are pretty self-sufficient. So we're in the midst of a big campaign to raise a bunch of money to help them get their new location up and running. So yeah, if anyone else is interested information.
Yeah, if any of our local listeners want to go to the gala, reach out.
Yeah, it'll be really fun. It's a great cause. I haven't said what the cause is.
It's a wonderful cause.
They help women.
Just trust.
They help women in critical situations primarily get back to economic self-sufficiency. So a lot of these women are coming out of poverty, homelessness, incarceration, or really just like any time of struggle where they can't hold down a job. They can come there, they get set up with clothes, hygiene products to help them look the part for their interview, but then they also have access to all kinds of incredible counseling services.
Yeah, that's great.
Resume writing, job skill training, all kinds of services to help them.
It's very on brand for She's in the Weeds.
Yes. Yes. And to help them get a job and hold down a job and get back to taking care of their families.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's a really great cause. All the women who work there are incredible. It's run by this woman who just saw a need, and she's been doing it for 27 years.
Yeah, that's amazing. And you guys, if you're local, it is such a slept on place to secondhand shop.
Oh, yeah.
It is so well curated. I know it's donated items, but it really, I think because it's a nonprofit, it's not like Goodwill. People are more intentional, I think, with their donations and things. And it is a spot.
They get a lot of donations from wealthy women.
Yeah.
Who have really high-end name brand clothing.
Yes.
There is obviously a variety. It's not all high-end, but you can find some really nice stuff there.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, if you're local and you're not shopping there, I highly recommend it. I found some great pieces
and
there.
They have this huge formal wear in the back with all wedding dresses. It's a huge room you could go on and have your dress moment there, trying on the dresses.
Yes.
It's a really cool spot.
It is for sure. Yeah, check it out.
But so volunteering has been going well.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was mostly it for yours. So mine were, I wanted to lean into my heritage a little bit and find out some of that stuff, which I had actually already started doing that. So I did all of that and determined that, and I think I had already determined this when I was talking about it, that my ancestors come from basically these two areas in Germany. One of them being Bavaria, which is now the Munich area. So I wanted to like lean into some of those traditions for 2025. So for Easter, we made the Osterlamb cake, which it's like a pretty simple, like kind of sponge cake recipe, but the tradition is you do it in this lamb mold and it's shaped like a lamb. Ooh. For Easter. And I learned how to make German potato salad.
Yeah.
Which is fabulous. It's delicious. It's very easy to make. And so then for Christmas, I was like, okay, I'm going to make a traditional Bavarian Christmas dinner, which is typically roast duck or goose. So I had actually had goose once before and it was delicious. So I was like, okay, let's do goose and cabbage. And they make these bread dumplings. So this is kind of like a funny story and just a recap of the goose dinner. So this is a traditional Christmas Day dinner, but I did it on Christmas Eve because I don't like to cook a big dinner on Christmas Day. And so a lot of times they have goose at Kroger. Like I've seen them around the holiday times, but they didn't this time, so fine. So my husband went to the butcher and got the goose. And I thought, okay, well, I'll do a little splurge for a Christmas Eve dinner. I'll get some caviar. And listen, I realize this is like privileged problems. Like we're fortunate, privileged. I know not everyone can do this. I don't want it to come off sounding
we always have caviar.
So I was like, I'll get a little bit of caviar and I wanted to serve it on the potato chips, like the trendy thing, and that'll be the splurge. We'll do that as an appetizer and then we'll have the goose and the bread dumplings.
And this was just for your core family?
Just from my mom comes over, but like we don't have any. We stay home Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, which is a boundary we set a couple years ago with the kids. And so my mom was gonna come over. It's just gonna be the 5 of us. So my husband goes to the butcher, gets the goose. So then the day before Christmas Eve, that night, he brings the goose in and he's like taking the wrapping off of it to like brine it, do whatever. And he kind of took over the goose, which I kind of had a feeling he might want to. I'm like, fine, whatever. He's like watching all these YouTube videos of how to roast the goose. So he's taking the wrapping off and he goes, "Oh, I thought they said $29. Guess they said $209." And I'm like, $209 for
one
a goose?
For one goose? They aren't like, gooses aren't that huge, are they?
They're pretty big.
Are
so
they?
they're a lot bigger than people realize or think. So it's a 10-pound goose.
Okay.
But still, $19.99 a pound. That's like
Whoa.
steak price, beef prices.
Yeah.
You know? I was like, oh my gosh.
That's crazy.
And I was like, well, the caviar was supposed to be the splurge, and the goose cost more than the caviar. And then I was laughing so hard. I texted Hollis. I'm like, you are not going to believe this. And she's like, I hope it was a golden goose. And I'm like, this is the year of the golden goose. So
That's
anyway,
so funny.
that was pretty funny.
Did it come with like the neck and stuff on it?
Oh
and
yeah,
the head? Yeah.
yeah, and it had the innard, like the
Yeah.
innards, the liver and
Right.
gizzards, that kind of stuff.
All the giblets.
All the giblets. Thank you. I couldn't think of the word. So anyway, that was kind of funny. That ended up being very expensive.
Was it good?
It was fine.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. It was a little overcooked. So basically, if you look it up, it's the same internal temperature as other poultry. It says to cook to 165 to avoid like, foodborne illness or whatever. My husband's like, everything I watched said to cook it to like 140 and then let it rest. He's like, I was afraid to do it because of the kids.
Yeah.
He's like, so I don't know if he cooked it all the way to 165, but he's like, I cooked it more than the recommendation of the videos they watched, because when they cut into it, like, it's very pink. And I remember when I had it before, it was very pink. And I think the one I had before was smoked, which tends to like come out pinker. Yeah. And so this was roasted, so the method's maybe a little different. But when he cut into it, it was just a little bit pink and mostly brown. So the flavor was good.
Yeah.
He did like a Chinese 5-spice and like a little bit of like cinnamon is traditionally how they're done for Christmas. And the flavor was good. I think if the kids weren't going to be eating it and could have done it to 140, I think it would have been a lot better.
Yeah.
Moral of the story, because I was like, this would be so fun to do. And then we could do this every year. And it would be maybe a tradition the kids could carry on. Probably won't be doing it again, especially not if it's
at $20 a pound.
Not at $20 a pound. But it was so funny because I was like, why is this so expensive? Is it like because it's not that popular? So like the poultry farmers have like 2 geese. They're raising 2 geese, and so they're charging a ton of money. Like, I don't know why they're so
it feels
expensive.
like there's geese fucking everywhere. Like,
well, and that's the thing.
I know they're not just like
they're not Canadian
catching geese.
Yeah, I mean they're
But
from what I understand, it's like a mother goose type looking goose, like a white goose, or a gray goose.
Yeah, like there's different kinds of geese.
Yeah. Well, because that's what my mom goes, well, is it tariffs? Did it come from Canada? And I'm like, it's not a Canadian goose, I don't think. Like, I don't, but it's possible.
Yeah.
It could be coming from somewhere where there's tariffs.
Yeah.
I don't know. So anyway, for $209 a pop, probably won't be doing it again. And it was good, but it just wasn't like super delicious. But the bread dumplings were good.
I love a good dumpling.
Yeah, I would recommend those. And the cabbage was delicious.
I fucking love cabbage too.
Yeah, it was really good. He made the cabbage too. So overall, I give the goose like, I don't know, a 6.5.
I give the goose a 6.
I give the goose a 6. It was tasty. Could have been cooked better. Not worth $209.
Yeah.
I've also realized that like things have just like changed a little bit, and I put this in my Christmas notes. I thought that was funny. You're like, you have Christmas notes?
I know. I also love that you have Christmas
I'm like,
notes.
yes, I do.
Like, mom of the year. Seriously, of the century. You're like, I am going to make my Christmas for my kids so special.
Yes.
That I take notes every year.
I've been doing it with Thanksgiving just because like every year it was like something would happen or there'd be like, okay, we can make this better.
Yeah.
And I just recently started doing it with Christmas, probably since we started staying home with the kids. Yeah. And I've realized, well, one note I made is, and I mentioned this last year when we were talking about advent calendars, I was talking about how my child had woken up like 30 minutes earlier because she was so excited about her advent calendar. And I was like, what is this about? So I made a note this year because I bought an advent calendar that requires my help for her to do. So I made a note in there, do not get advent calendars that require your help, because that defeats the purpose of them being occupied by the advent calendar.
Right.
I got her a magic set one. Also, like, don't get your kids different ones, because a civil war ensued about which one was better, and they were fighting over a magic wand.
Yeah.
So then I had to buy a magic kit to wrap for Christmas so that they both could have one. Anyway, so I've also decided that my kids are just at ages where, and like there's just been some logistical things that have changed, like in our family dynamic too. My mom and her husband, when she was married, they would come over, we would have dinner, I would put my kid to bed, and then we would do our gifts like after dinner on Christmas Eve, and then they would stay the night. And it's just not like that anymore. My mom's no longer married. She lives over here now. And she comes over before dinner, and she wants to like open gifts with the kids, then her gifts with the kids, and then we have dinner, and then she goes home. And so it's just too hard for me to be like making a big dinner, and then she's there and she's wanting to like open presents, and Kurt and I are like back and forth to the kitchen. So I think we're just in a time where like a big fancy dinner is like not the vibe.
Yeah.
So next year, and I was saying this Christmas Eve, the kids had gone to bed and my mom had left and everything, and I looked at Kurt and I was like, I think next year, like, let's just do like appetizers and have them ready when my mom gets here. And I was like, I just don't know.
Everybody loves that anyways.
Yeah. And I was like, I just don't know that like it's just too hard to doing the big dinner. And he goes, oh yeah, we're not old enough for that. And at first when he said that, I was like, we're not old enough for, I was like, oh yeah, the kids. And he was like, yeah, the kids.
Yeah.
And so like we're definitely aligned on that. So we're just going to do, and I saved some videos of like, I was like, oh, that appetizer looks delicious. That appetizer looks delicious. And I added them to my notes for next year. And so we're just going to lay off the fancy dinner for a few years. I think when the kids are older and they can help, like then we will again. Cause I have memories of doing that. Because we used to go to my mom's house before I had kids and before I was married. I would go to my mom's house when she was married to her husband, and we would have a nice dinner, like crab legs and stuff. And I have fond memories of that, but I was much older.
Yeah.
You know, I was like an adult pretty much. So, I think, a few years down the line.
Yeah.
But for now.
Yeah, that's like my favorite thing, because my mom always used to do that, where she'd just get like, the table would just be full of like all kinds of little appetizer
schneckens.
Yeah. And then you just kind of
little morsels.
You'd graze, straight morsels. You would just graze all day.
Yeah.
It was the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, because that's what I do on Christmas Day. Mm-hmm. So I liked the idea of having like a fancy dinner Christmas Eve, and then I would just make appetizers and we would graze all day Christmas Day. But I'm thinking it's just going to be a 2-day graze.
Yeah.
Because
2-day graze.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we do now. I cook on Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
And then we just do.
Yeah.
We go to my aunt's on Christmas Day. She always makes a big meal, but
yeah.
I made gumbo this year. I almost ruined it.
I love gumbo.
Yeah, it was good. I mean, gumbo's one of those things that like it takes years to perfect.
Oh
to
yeah.
get it right. Like making a roux is like it's not hard, but it's like
it
can easily be messed up.
Yeah.
And like
it's the flavor profile of the gumbo too you got,
which is where I really messed up, because I like last minute decided to make gumbo and then like didn't get the right spices and stuff, so I used these spices just from Kroger, which is like a huge mistake.
Yeah.
And like making it and tasting it, like when it was still cooking, like a lot of the spices were like rising to the top, and some of the fat does.
Mm-hmm.
And tasting it, and I was like, oh my god, it's so fucking salty. So I was like, for a minute I was Googling what Chinese places were open, because I was like, this could be inedible.
Yeah.
Because I put more seasoning in it than it called for, because I feel like it's never enough.
Right.
So I was like, well, I'll just put like,
there's no way that's enough.
Then I was like, oh no, that was a horrible move. And these stupid cheap Kroger spices are just like so bad.
Salt bombs. Yeah.
It didn't taste like gumbo was supposed to taste. It ended up being fine. Like it just needed some more time to cook, and like that stuff was going to cook off the top anyways. But like, I don't know. Having lived in New Orleans and eating a lot of gumbo, it was just like, this is blasphemy. But it was fine. My family liked it, and it was all right. But they were like, it's amazing. I was like, this is not amazing. But thank you.
Thank you. I know. I'm always like telling myself, like, you can always add more. You can't take it away.
I know. I know. But I feel like everything I make, it's always like, this doesn't taste like anything.
Yeah.
There's never enough seasoning. But yeah, that's a good rule of thumb.
Yeah.
Dots, not lots. And you can always...
Dots, not lots.
Is that a thing? Did you not have that phrase in school with glue?
No. I was like, what on earth are you talking about?
I wasn't talking about seasoning. I made a jump there. But
Yeah.
dots, not lots. That was always one of my favorite phrases.
Yeah, that's a good one because
Yeah.
kids use way too much glue.
Mrs. Savage, dots, not lots. Okay?
I mean, a visionary.
Yeah, she was ahead of her time.
Oh, man. Okay, so my other big one was I wanted to be more intentional with my consumption and just like really work on like overconsumption.
Oh yeah, your lists.
Yes, my lists. I did that for about 4 months.
Solid.
Then I fell off.
Fell off how? You were just like buying whatever.
Yeah, I
fall
stopped
off
doing
in?
the lists.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
know that I necessarily like then just like went nuts buying stuff, but I
Yeah.
just stopped doing the lists, which meant I stopped being as intentional.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then one thing that I did do that I'm pretty proud of myself is the last couple of years, and I've probably talked about this before, I had 3 babies in 4 years. So like the wardrobe was just like whatever. I never knew what size I was going to be. I was postpartum. I was pregnant, whatever. And I worked in a professional job before. So like I got rid of all those clothes because they don't really make sense in the world outside of a corporate job.
Yeah.
And so it just felt like I either had sweats or I had a few like fancy items. I didn't have a lot of just like clothes to wear. I was trying to rebuild my wardrobe after that. And so I sort of wove that into my 2025 resolution of being more intentional about my consumption. And I really like leaned into secondhand and like thrifting my wardrobe, which I think I've been doing a really great job with.
Yeah.
My big thing was like, I don't want to do any fast fashion. Like I just don't. I don't want to be, and that's not to say that I don't use Amazon at all for things. I do. That's something I'm going to try and work on more this year because I'm staying with that focus of working on intentional consumption and overconsumption. But I did a really good job with the clothes. So yeah, I'm pretty proud of myself for that. I think I still did purchase some things new. Jeans are really hard for me to do secondhand.
Yeah,
so,
pants in general are just hard to thrift.
Yeah.
You can find gems every once in a while, but pants are just hard in general.
They are.
Even to buy retail new.
Yeah, I have to get them tailored pretty,
I know, it's so annoying.
I did do that. I did buy some pants. Abercrombie pants fit me pretty well. They do make them long enough in jeans and the extra long, which is great. I did buy a couple pairs of non-jean pants that I did have to have the hems let out and have them tailored. So I did that. I did find a couple of pair of pants secondhand that I like. One pair of like nice dress pants from Zara that fit really well. And then the other ones are mostly like more casual type pants. I found a pair of like 90s parachute pants that I like, things like that. So I was able to find some pants, but mostly tops and skirts and things. But yeah, so that's been fun. Looking forward to continuing to really try to purchase all of my clothes secondhand from here on out. We'll see how it goes. I mean, you know, I had some really great accessories. The handbag gods were very
good to you this year.
Good to me in 2025.
Nice.
And the coat situation worked out really nicely.
Yeah, you really have. I feel like every time I see you now, I'm like, dang, nice outfit. And you're like, yeah, I thrifted all of it.
Yeah. So thank you. It's been fun and it's been easy on the bank account. And yeah,
I like that.
I mean, some things, you know, are still it depends. Like there were a couple of items that were a little more than I wanted to spend, but they were really great pieces. But for the most part, it was all like, I can't believe I'm getting this for this price.
Yeah.
Like, so yeah. I need to work on still just more intentional consumption altogether, like with other things, but I feel like I really made good strides in that department. And then I did pretty good with the lists for the first few months. I need to get back to doing that. So I'm going to be rolling that one over into 2026.
Rolling it over.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Congrats. What are yours?
Thank you.
So what are yours for this year? Besides
Okay.
rolling over your list.
Yes. I just want to try to reduce the waste as much as possible. That's going to be a tough one because, I mean, it really is hard with, you know, and it's hard to know too, like when you're recycling, like what's actually getting recycled and like what's actually biodegradable.
I hate that.
There's so much. And it's one of those things where it's a double-edged sword because my 6-year-old is like really into crafting and like drawing, and she likes to make, she calls them paper creations, where she makes things out of paper, like paper crafting. And I love all of that. I mean, I'd much rather her be doing that than like on a screen or like destroying my house or like whatever it is. But it does create a lot of waste. Now, the paper, we recycle it. Paper is biodegradable, at least, you know, most of what we buy. But it's like, I don't necessarily know what's happening with all of that. And then sometimes she'll be like gluing googly eyes or putting stickers. And it's like, I don't know if that, like, you know, so it's one of those things that I'm glad she's doing it. It's just, it does create a lot of product. There's byproduct of it. So I don't know. It's things like that I need to kind of hone in on and sort of see like different areas of my life where I can hopefully reduce the waste. So we'll see. We've always been pretty good about food waste. Now that we have kids, it has gotten more. So I want to try to reduce that some too. I want to look into eco bricking.
Oh, I'm not familiar.
That's where you like compact your trash and make it really small.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, so I want to look into that. So yeah, I don't know, some things on the horizon there. My other main one is just the podcast. Yeah. You know, going full steam ahead and just like seeing if we can make something of it truly. You know, it's been so fun. I can't believe we've been doing it for over a year.
I know.
And I mean, it brings me so much joy and I love it. But yeah, I mean, it would be nice if it could be an actual business. You know, I don't know like how possible that is, just us being just regulars with no, you know what I mean? Yeah. We don't have any kind of like, no one knows who we are. Just to see what might be possible in terms of like how we're, you know, avenues for marketing it and all of that. So that's a goal of mine. And then I just want to be more present and I know this is something probably we all could benefit from. Just try to be off my phone a little more, be more present with my family. I want to be more present with my husband. We definitely are going to try and do like a date night. You know, I've talked about like, well,
it's just said it like date night.
Not because of that, because it's the childcare.
Yeah.
So that's the hard part is like, you know,
watch your kids.
I know. And my mom is comfortable now, I think, having both of them, because that was really the issue. It's like now that we have two, like my mom wasn't super comfortable having, you know, essentially a toddler, small child, and the baby. Like it was, but now that they're a little bit older, she's like, I think I can do both.
Yeah.
So we're gonna try and work, because before it was like, okay, we got to find a babysitter.
Yeah.
And then that's like a whole thing. You have to go and find somebody, and somebody you trust and somebody you like. I know people do it all the time. This isn't a judgment. Yeah. I know people do it. I get it. But the thought of like having this stranger in my house, like it just didn't compute. It was just like hard for me to wrap my head around. And it was like going through the process of finding somebody, and then it's just going to be like a date night thing. So it's not going to be somebody we have super regularly. And then it's like, what if they're not available? And then you have to pay them, and then you're spending money to go out.
Yeah.
And it was just kind of like, that was what the date, that's what it was. The whole like rigmarole around the logistics of everything. Right. But now that my mom is comfortable watching both of them, I think we're going to be able to actually implement like a monthly date night.
Nice.
And then I thought about doing 1 week a month where I don't go on social media at all, except for what I have to do for the podcast.
Yeah, that's a good start.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't spend a ton of time on it. But when I do get on it, sometimes I'll get on it and I'm like, oh my God, it's been an hour.
Oh,
What?
I know. That's the thing. Like, time disappears.
Yeah.
Online.
So I was thinking about doing like maybe the last week of the month or the first week of the month where I only go on social media if I'm posting for the podcast or whatever. So yeah.
Nice.
We'll see.
Cool. Those sound all great and totally doable.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I was writing mine down and I did the classic thing I always do, which is I made a list of like 40 things that I want to do. And I was like, okay, it's not realistic. So I kind of broke it down into two categories. Which one is just like really, which I mentioned before, really trying to be as healthy as I can and feel good. So like really trying to be consistent, cutting out caffeine totally. Because it just makes me feel like shit.
Yeah.
I went 4 days the other week and I felt amazing. And I was just
really?
like, yeah, I don't know why I do this at all. So I'm going to try to not drink caffeine, continue with our workout classes, the trainer we're seeing. We're doing.
Are we going to go to 3 days a week?
I think so.
Yeah.
We talked about it last time and she was like, yeah, we can definitely do that. Try to like be routine about my sleeping and knock out drinking and just try to like be the healthiest I can.
Yeah. Well, and I'd love to see too, like when we're doing our workouts, to start like tracking our progress.
Yeah.
Like on paper.
Yeah, I know.
Like,
I bought a little book because that's another thing too. I used to do that a little bit. And I take notes on my phone sometimes.
Yeah.
But like I don't keep track of like what weight I'm lifting.
No,
ever.
not that, but like that's
Yeah.
what I mean.
Yeah,
I thought
like
you were
how
gonna say
much
what we weigh. I was
Oh
like,
yeah, no, like how much weight I'm lifting and like how I'm progressing there.
Yeah.
'Cause, like our trainer does that.
Yeah, she does.
But yeah, it'd be nice for me to have like a better idea of that too. So when I'm working out on my own, I can be like, okay, well I was doing this.
Right.
Let's try to.
Because that was one thing that was nice about the Orange Theory workouts is that even though they weren't like as strength based as what we're doing, because you had the heart monitor and you had like your base pace and your push pace and your all out pace as you were doing it, you could see your progress because like your base pace would increase, over time. And like we would occasionally do a mile run and you could see your time, so that was like the only workout I've ever done where I had like a solid understanding of my progression. So yeah, and like obviously I know I'm much stronger. I'm lifting way more than I was when I first started out, but it would just be nice to maybe like chart that somehow.
Yeah. No, agreed. So that's one. And then the other one is just to really prioritize being creative. I have a good job that I feel pretty solid and stable in. I've decided I'm not trying to like really climb the ladder at that job, mostly because I don't really see there being a pathway for that for my role necessarily, and also I just don't want that.
Want the stress of it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna like work my job, and I really want to devote a lot of the rest of my time and energy to being creative outside of my job.
Yeah,
which includes this podcast and then some of my other like creative things that I used to make stuff just for enjoyment.
Yeah, me too.
And I want to do that, and I also want to try to be creative in a way that I can sell and do some
monetize
freelance stuff.
somehow,
So that's my other goal, is to just kind of like make space,
make art.
Yeah, and make space for making art and really put some energy into like doing the creative things that fulfill me that I just kind of stopped doing.
I know.
Just because it's hard to find the time, but like you got to make the time.
You got to make the time. Yeah. This was the first year. I always make Christmas baskets for our friends and family, and this was the first year I didn't have like a craft thing in it. I always like make ornaments or like handmade cards or whatever, and and I had all these ideas, and I have this idea for like a super cool, cute ornament out of some of the stuff that I have, and I just never did it. So that's one of my goals too, that's something I need to like work on throughout the year. I can't be trying to do that in November. Like I need to start working on them now and just do it slowly over the year.
Yeah.
Course of the year.
A lot of creative projects take like planning and time.
Yeah, especially when you can only work on them in small increments of time. Yeah. So
and that's a thing I've gotten a really bad habit about doing is like, I think this partially came from school. I don't know where I learned this habit, but this idea that like, oh, I won't do anything and then I'll just spend 9 hours on it.
Yeah.
And I'll just do an all-nighter. It's so bad. It's not how, like...
I will never forget. Hollis was literally driving to New Orleans the next day from Bloomington. She was moving, and we had been like up partying and like whatever. And the house that we lived in, I walk into the kitchen and she's like frantically working on these signs that she had been commissioned to paint for this local business. And I was like, are you going to be okay? She's like, I got to get this done.
Dude, that was one of the worst. I was so stressed because I agreed to do that last minute.
Yeah.
Which I should have said no.
Right.
Like he contacted me like the week before I was leaving.
Yeah.
And I was just like, man, I could really use that money.
Yeah.
But then, yeah, so I took it on way too soon, like way too close.
Late. Yeah.
But yeah, and then of course I probably just like, well, I had to like pack all my stuff.
Yeah.
And then I had to party like 3 or 4 times with all my friends.
Because we had
left.
your going away party.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like you
And
couldn't not go.
I was so stressed that I remember I was crying that day. I literally dropped them off on my way out of town.
Yeah.
And I was just like, this was not the way I wanted to leave. I was so frantic. And he was like making changes. Oh, it was the worst. Well, yeah. And also like my BFA thesis.
Oh, yeah.
Worked on it. It was supposed to be a semester long project. I probably worked on it for like a month and a half. Just like up all night, every night for like a month.
Yeah.
Just like, you idiot. Like just work. Because that's the thing. Just an hour.
Right.
Like I don't have to spend just an hour or 2 max a day or a week even sometimes.
Right.
Just a little bit of time incrementally is
Yeah.
so much better than like
Absolutely. Well, and
trying
it
to
is
bust-
hard to get into that mindset though.
It is. You
because
really
we do
have
that
to-
with all kinds of things. I feel like
Yeah.
we do that with exercise too, where it's like, well, if I can't go to the gym for an hour workout, I'm just going to do nothing.
yeah, exactly.
And
like,
it
oh,
can
just
be
go
the
for a
same.
half hour. Yeah.
Exactly. It can be the same with those kind of projects where it's like, well, if I don't have a whole afternoon to spend,
Right.
then I'm just not going to do
Yeah.
anything.
And
it's
if I
like,
can't work out 4 times this week, then I might as well just not work
no,
out at all.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got
I
to
know.
focus on the 1%.
Yeah.
Do 1% better.
Yeah, just consistency.
Yeah.
You know, just like be creative a little bit every day.
Yeah.
It's like I've done this before too, where I'm like a drawing challenge. I'm not gonna be like, let's do a thing every day, but I'm gonna try to like sit down and paint or draw at least once a week. And,
Right.
like, you know.
Even if it's just a Marvin Martian on a notebook.
Yeah, on your fucking skateboard. Yeah.
You can do it.
Yeah. So I'm gonna try to get back to that. And I do. I wanna invest more time in this and
Yeah.
you know, make this as cool as it can be.
Yeah. I mean, it's already pretty fucking cool. The only way it could
Yeah.
be cooler is if it made money.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool. Speaking of that, shout out to our dedicated listeners this year.
Yes, you
We
guys.
appreciate you so much.
We love you.
Yeah, I know it's just all of our friends, but like, thanks for being great friends.
Heck
and listening to
yeah.
us drone on about our insecurities. all the
Yeah, I
time.
mean, thank you for listening to me yap about Amy Schumer for 3 solid episodes.
Well, you know, what needs to be said needs to be said.
That's right.
And
And who better to say it than
Right.
us?
write that one down. What needs to be said needs to be said. Put that in a book
Yeah.
or something like that.
Put that in your back pocket.
Put that in your pipe and smoke it.
That's right.
Hey.
One other thing I have to mention is that we were talking on that episode about how embarrassing my diary was, and you said something like you should read it on the podcast, and then I did. So I just want to say that's one thing that we talked about on an episode, and that I did it.
That we did it. Yeah, heck yeah. That's a feather in your goddamn cap right there.
And if you have not listened to Confessions of a Millennial Middle Schooler, you need to.
Yeah, you should go back. Maybe
Unfortunately, we had a little audio issue, so the first 5 minutes, the audio's not great, but then we fix it. But the content is elite. It is so funny.
First 5 minutes, no one cares about that. First 5.
Well, the first
anyways.
5 minutes is the story of you not being able to open the door at work.
Oh,
So it's
okay. Well,
good.
that is a
The
good one.
content's great,
That's a good one. Yeah.
but yeah, it's a screamer of an episode. So
Screamer.
definitely check that out. We'll have to be one day when we can afford DaVinci Pro, we'll load that bitch in there and isolate our voices, and then
Yeah.
we'll re-release it.
I also feel like potting from the couch is so
It's so
superior.
nice. We're not filming today because my face is in full orbit. The
And
planets are planeting.
I'm just haggard.
But but I'm starting Accutane in like 2 weeks, so I can't wait.
Yeah, I bet you're excited.
I'm very excited. I will keep you all updated on that journey. I know you're all waiting with bated breath to hear about that. Yeah.
Good. Should we grape and gripe?
I think so.
Them?
Yeah.
Are we doing... We're doing the call-in ones next time, huh?
Oh, yes. So keep sending your grapes and gripes for 2025. We'll do those on the next episode. We don't have those in front of us right now, so.
Yeah, but if you have a grape and gripe, which sounds like some of you do,
yes,
write them in and we'll read them online. That'll be so fun.
Yes, and I think we put biggest gripe of 2025 and your best grape of 2025. But, you know, if they happen to be in the last couple of days for 2026, we won't out you. You can send them.
Sweet.
Okay, so my gripe is going to panty liners. And I'm sorry if we just lost you, Chad. But I don't know why this is a problem, though. And I don't know why it doesn't exist. For whatever reason, panty liners, they don't stick.
Do they
They
not?
have a sticking problem.
Yeah, they do. They do come unattached.
Yes.
Come unattached.
They come unattached, and then they're sliding around in there, and it's
really
like, what?
uncomfortable.
Yeah. And when I'm just at home, like, I'm sorry, I just haven't been able to get on board with the Diva Cup. I just haven't.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'm too old. I don't know. I'm just worried that it's going to get lost in there. I know that sounds stupid, but
no, I think that's a pretty normal fear.
Yeah. And, you know, I don't want to wear a tampon when I'm at home. I just want to wear a panty liner. And they don't stick. And if you want one that sticks, I don't know why every pad is huge. Like, I want something that is the size of a panty liner but sticks like a pad. Why does this not exist? Yeah. So that's my gripe. Like, I don't understand. Like, it's because women aren't making them, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
Women aren't designing them when they should be.
Yeah. All right. So let's get on the adhesive there, folks.
Yes.
My gripe goes out to this particular video online. It's of Taylor Swift. She's standing in a circle of all of her crew members, and she's given them all a check for a bunch of money for their last tour. And it's like really nice because she's like, I just made $800 million. And like the video is of these people, they're like, they pull out the check and they all just like collapse because they've like never seen this much money, but they don't reveal the number. And I just want to be like, what's the point of this video if you're not going to tell us how much she coughed up?
Yeah.
Like, this isn't enough for me just to see them collapse. We need to know the number.
Also, like,
I want to know how much you gave these people. Like,
well, yeah, for sure. And like, also, like, what is the point of the video anyway?
I mean, just to show that like she's an amazing person and she cares about her crew, because this is a bonus on top of their salary that she gave them because they made so much money.
But wouldn't it make more of, like you said, the number is, wouldn't it make more of an impact if they just released that she did this and said the number instead of showing a video of them like collapsing, but they don't?
Because I think it's gauche to be like, to release the number and say like, oh, I gave everybody $1 million. But like, that's, you know, I get from her camp's perspective, like, you know, but like, just give the people what they want. Tell us how much you gave them.
Well, and it also seems a little like, look at me being so generous, and here my employees are collapsing. Like, I don't know.
And I don't know if she released this video. You know, it was one of those like, it wasn't like a documentary video. It was just like, I don't know who was shooting it.
It wasn't like an intentional, like, I see.
It was an internet video, but I just wanted to be like, if you're going to release this, you better know the intel and let us all know what that is. Because it's like, that's not new info. Like, it's been out that like after the Eras tour or whatever, she gave crazy bonuses to people. But like, don't flood me with content like that
if you're not gonna like give me the info.
The goods, you know.
Yeah. No, I agree.
So it's a stupid gripe, but
no, it's a good one.
Yeah,
I hear it.
Thanks.
My grape is going to goof off.
Goof off? Just goof it off in general?
No, it's
the glue stuff. So I just love goofing off. It's just a good time.
I just crack up every time because, you know, the original brand name is called Goo Gone. and
Yes,
it's removes the adhesive of like stickers and things, and then some other company like copied it and called it Goof Off.
That's so funny.
And I just think it's so hilarious. And like, if you're gonna just straight up copy something, make it funny.
Yeah.
So we don't buy Goo Gone because Goof Off is cheaper.
Goof Off, and it's way funnier. It's like Numinos or Fig Newmans.
Yes, exactly. So anyway, kudos, Goof Off.
Goof Off. You crushed it. My grape, I always say the wrong thing, goes out to this dude I watched. I was on the treadmill at the gym, and I was watching at my gym. There's like the big windows, and the treadmills are all lined up in front of them. So I was on one of those, and it was snowing, and I watched this full-grown man walking in the snow, and he just stuck his tongue out and caught and attempted a couple times to catch a snowflake on his tongue, and he was just having the most delightful time just out in the first snow of the year, just
catching snowflakes.
I was like,
we love to see it.
Oh yes, get your life.
Yeah.
Full grown man, just like couldn't be bothered, wasn't ashamed. He was just like, yeah, it's what you do in a winter wonderland. You catch snowflakes on your tongue,
which is perfect for me to hear when I'm trying to be more intentional with being present.
Yeah.
In 2026, because that man was present.
He was very present
in the moment.
He was in the moment. He was like,
I'll take a page out of that book.
It's like, I'm not taking this snow for granted.
That's right.
This is the moment. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's my North Star this year.
Nice.
I'm just going to think of him and be like, that's what I'm going to strive to be.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
We did it.
We did it. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.